Igbokwe, they say the man they nearly beat the man woto for inside Ladipo. For Lagos, so Lagos when they claim na him be Jagaban of Lagos. They say they nearly beat him for inside Lagos before the market security and the market leaders come rescue him. Come up for inside the market. See so most of una waiting say una they do evil against your own people, against the Igbo people, and you think say that you are safe anywhere you are. That Abuja, I go know where you go wrong go last. Like the one where they call you jail, where they come back with the army. They inside motor. If you come outside, they go they look around, do video, jump enter. Then later go come poster, come say are they here? If they're born and well, making use in 2 leg waka go, man know whether they no go chop am like a kuli comot. However, let us go and watch wetin dey happen for inside that area. It's now confirmed that the kidnapping and all those things wey dey happen for inside Nigeria, that the Nigeria army hand and the Nigeria government fully dey inside. Una go watch the video, hear am for the horse's mouth before we come back and continue. Stay tuned.
My name is Engineer yesterday I went to Ladipo to buy some spare parts for my vehicle. And as I was going around to look for the parts, some people were calling me, some people were just pointing fingers at me. So we're saying something. I quickly ignored them. And I went in search of what I wanted. And I saw the parts and I went to my vehicle where I packed it to fix it. And before I know it, they started gathering. Those Ladipo boys started, some of them were gathering. I said, Igbokwe, this is Igbokwe, this is Igbokwe. So you can come to this market. Igbokwe did this, Igbokwe did that. I just ignored them. And they started, they were coming, and I decided to move away from that place. I went to my friend's shop. Then I was there, and my friend went to call the leadership of the market. All of them came, and then one day I said, "Let me just go." I told them that I want to go. And I came outside. When I came outside, I saw a lot of people, a lot of them talking. Everybody's talking, saying all kinds of things. I didn't say anything. I just drove away. So this morning I woke up, went through my Facebook page. I was seeing all kinds of stories. Igbokwe was beaten, nobody beaten. This is my life. Did I look at somebody? They cannot do it in Lagos. There are things you cannot do here. You can go to Southeast and be doing the rubbish you've been doing there, and the shame that you have brought to us over the years, but not in Lagos. I pray that it will not happen again. I know what to do. I remember when we came to campaign in Ladipo a few years back, when Fashola was there. These boys went and removed the side mirror of his official vehicle. These boys, and we left them. Yesterday they repeated the same, tried to do the same thing again. I said, only one. This is Lagos. This is Lagos. This is Lagos. Be careful. This is Lagos. And I'm going to stop it there. So nothing happened to me. I'm okay. Nobody touched me. Nobody even near me came to my face. Nobody did that. This is just to put the record straight. People have been calling me. They can't do it in Lagos. If they do it in Lagos, they will collect. I tell you, they will collect. That market, they may not see that market in the next 1 year. Nobody will trade. Nobody will go into that place.
Please don't be in a hurry. Watch this video.
Way between Abuja and Kaduna. Then when, some people were kidnapped. One of the people that was kidnapped was a junior brother of a friend of mine. I think they were asking for 50 or 100 million. I'm not quite sure what the ransom figure was. So, everybody put money together, gave it to this guy to go and deliver, our guy was released after the money was delivered. But the person that delivered now came back with a story. He said he had to go through 3 military checkpoints on his way to the rendezvous that was given by the kidnappers. He said, and in each of those checkpoints, they demanded money. He said, by the time I got to the third one, he said, look, these guys will count this money and they will find that it's less because you guys have been collecting. He said, tell them that we were the one that took it.
So the military know they are there.
So when he got to the kidnappers, and of course they counted the money, I think it was missing, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 million, I can't remember. He told them it's the checkpoint people that collected it. He said the kidnappers said, okay, no problem.
Can you break this down? Is it that the military knows that the kidnapper is there?
Of course they do. Every time people are kidnapped in Nigeria, the military and challenge, they know. Their excuse is always, oh, we want to avoid collateral damage. That if we go there, like that, some of the hostages could be killed. But that is the excuse they are using, and that's why the industry is increasing. I have a feeling that if you do the study very well, you find that it's the same set of people that are repeating the kidnappings. So people you didn't get rid of first time are now kidnapping over and over again.
Are you saying it's not a Fulani problem?
Oh, no. It's not a Fulani problem at all. No, it's not Fulani. You see, the thing about this Fulani thing is, you see, I read an intelligence report, for example, of somebody captured as a Boko Haram terrorist. Why did you join Boko Haram? I was reading his interrogation. The guy said he lived in a village in the north. He said he came home one day and found a man who was the richest man in the village in his bedroom with his wife. He said in order not to commit crime, he went to report the man to the local police. Guess what? He said it's him, the husband, that the police came to arrest. And they locked him up for 30 days in their cell. I think eventually they released him. And he said he told himself that if he has an opportunity, he would deal with these police officers. When the Boko Haram recruiters came calling a few weeks later, he was happy to join. After their rudimentary training, the first place he led attack on was that police station. He killed all of them, all the police officers there. That guy was not in Boko Haram because he was a Muslim or some religious purpose. It was because of the failure of the criminal justice system. So that is why, it's lazy analysis to think, Boko Haram, they're all Islamic terrorists. No, there's that element. I agree. But there are all kinds of reasons. It's not even Fulani problem alone. During Buhari, we got up to the point where we had 86. That's according to the Inspector General of Police. We had 86 armed non-state groups in Nigeria. IGP Alkali said so. So it's a public record. 86 armed non-state groups. So which means there are now almost 86 mercenary groups in Nigeria. And the report is that the most effective, I'm using effective in a perverse way now, the most effective groups were the Fulani ones. Because they would take whatever they're high on, whatever they are, and they can kill anybody. So if you are in Benin, or a village outside Benin, and you are fighting with the village next door, and you are looking for who will do your dirty work for you, you pay them. And they tell you that these Fulani groups are the most effective. You pay them, they come to the next village and kill everybody. Witnesses will say they are Fulanis that came to attack us. But they are not attacking you because they are Fulani. In that sense, they are attacking you because they were paid to do so.
So how would you explain what is going on in the Middle Belt? They attack, they occupy. How would you explain that?
The Middle Belt is made up of all kinds of, it's not one reason why we're having problems. Some of the reasons what I've just explained in terms of traditional long-term grievances between different groups. Some are clearly religious, but more importantly, many are political in nature.
My wonderful people, I don't see them as it they happen. Martin and the Carl have said it many years ago that if you want to hold those responsible for what is going on right now in Nigeria, that you have to start with the people in Abuja. And clearly, the message is very clear. So they are the ones who are giving this. Because somebody who rear cow, how did he get money to buy a gun that worth millions? Even though they sold the whole cow they have, they can't afford those machines you see them carrying. If you don't know, go and make a research of the kind of weapon you are seeing them with and see how much it was cost. So definitely, anything that lasts more than 48 hours or a day and keep going, the government hand they inside. There's people, there's agenda behind it. So they are the one who are sponsoring all those things. They are the same people. You have seen many cases where there's checkpoint here, they are kidnapping in the front. End of the day, they will do nothing. So the people that always fall the victim of let's go is the some of the policemen who don't even know what is going on, who don't even know that there is an agenda. So once they want to go further, they will call them and ask them to return immediately. So you don't see them. That is Nigeria where we find ourselves. And the worst part of it is that the people are not ready to stand up because it never happened to them. They are busy campaigning for 2027 election while your village is gone, while your place you call the home is gone, and the Lagos and Abuja you are living, that is the last hope every one of you have. And they are already there. So when you start, I will know where you run to. A time will come where everybody will talk about this insecurity, not be shouting, Tinubu is doing work, this one is doing work. This is not the solution, but the solution of this country is round table. Because when you get round table, you scatter that interest that your enemy have. The enemy will scatter, they will be confused at the middle of the road. So this is the only solution in Nigeria issue. But however, let's watch and see how it's playing. Guys, stay tuned as we go update you of wetin Wazirike talk concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.